All right, man, it's your boy Home Attack. And I've been thinking, right? We hear so much about, oh, wrestling sucks today, man. It ain't cool no more, man. Nobody's a draw. Triple H is a horrible booker. And he is. There's so much talent on the roster today, and he don't know how to book none of them. Well, most of these guys don't have a larger-than-life personality. They don't have an it factor, or they kind of do, but they don't. Like, for example, Seth Rollins, man. Seth Rollins is a bunch of failed gimmicks, man. Him and Cody Rhodes, man. It's just, they're just sing-along characters, man. They just have a theme song that you sing along to. Jay has yeet. Jay kind of got something, but I think what happened with Jay Uso is, like, he became over commercialized. I don't know. This might have to be a whole separate video about over commercialization of wrestlers once they make it to the top, because this is a thing. Everybody who makes it to the top, well, almost everybody, I should say, who makes it to the top becomes more commercialized than they were, you know, on their way to the top. Like, let's give an example. Let me give another example. Even though Jay Uso's the biggest example of this, he became. Remember, Jay used to cut better promos. Now he just says, yeah, oos, yeah, oos, yeah, oos, yeah. Jay used to say more than that. So we know, about why we see what happened to him. But what happened to him is, I don't think people talk about this enough. He became, everybody who makes it to the top becomes commercialized, but he became over commercialized because of Triple H's horrible booking. Triple H just say, oh, yeah, yeet is over. So Jay, you should just go out and just yeet for 10 minutes and everybody will love it. That's the problem with Triple H. Jay Uso got over commercialized, not just with the yeeting, but also when it comes to his moveset, because everybody kind of gets over commercialized once they make it to the top when it comes to their moveset. Remember, y'all used to hate on John Cena. The same thing happened to John Cena. The 5 moves of doom. He didn't used to have like a 5 moves of doom like that before he really like became like mainstream, like 05 or some shit, or 06. To where like he's been solidified as the face of the company. Before that he was doing more moves in the ring. So I think the roster, there is talent wrestling wise, but that doesn't make you a draw. What makes you a draw? Like, what gives you that it factor? And what gives you that it factor as a character? Because wrestling entertainment should be about characters, not doing flips and moonsaults in the ring and having no personality. It's too much of that going on. Too many fans in the ring who can't cut a promo because they just grew up fans of WWE, so now they're happy to be there, and being a fan makes you makes you bad on the mic. It makes you a bad promo because you're not thinking about your character. You're just thinking about, oh, I'm a WWE wrestler now. That's the problem with today's. It's too much of that going on. What makes you a draw is, well, what is an it factor? I'm gonna tell you what makes you a draw. Have a solidified character. Have catchphrases. Those 2 things right there can take you far. Wrestle be commercialized in a way with your moveset. To a degree. You don't gotta be as bad as Jay Uso, but to a degree, you should already kind of be commercializing yourself. I'm gonna give a couple examples of guys who are doing it right these days. No homo. And I'm going to start with Jacob Fatu. Now, he is a larger than life character. He is a draw. He is a draw. And I think many people would agree with me on this. He is a draw. He has what it takes to be a top draw. He's got catchphrases. He's got mannerisms in the ring that you don't see other people use. Like, he has originality. Even though I'm sick of all these Samoans and the whole bloodline BS. I'm sick of that. But Jacob Fatu, we're not talking about Solo and the bloodline, the OTC and the new TC and the My Family Tree, the MFTs. I'm not talking about all that nonsense. I'm talking about just Jacob Fatu by himself alone. He has what it takes to be a top draw. He's got the catchphrases. You need 2 or 3 good catchphrases, or maybe even one would be good enough in certain cases. Get in where you fit in. I'm all gas, no brakes with it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like that. That makes you a top draw because that gives you a larger than life character. That sells your character. Another example, LA Knight. Now, I know that I used to be the biggest hater of LA Knight. Me along with Walt Clyde would sit up here and be like, oh, he's just a Rock Austin cosplay. Yeah, he is to an extent. You know, and I couldn't stand this motherfucker. But then came Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross is boring as hell to watch in the ring, okay? Whereas LA Knight, a rip-off or not, he has good catchphrases, he's good in the ring. His moveset matches his character. He wrestles like an actual megastar. What I mean is, he's not doing a whole bunch of flips and kicks. He's not trying too hard to look good in the ring. He's doing moves that make him look good. The yeah punches, and then he takes you out. He does he kicks you from the outside of the ring. You know, that little spring kick he does, and then hits you on an announcer's table. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. On the outside of the ring. He does the neck breaker, from the rebound of the turnbuckle, and then he does it, the LA Knight, the elbow drop, LA Knight, yeah, and then, the BFT, it looks good for him. And people say, oh, he can't wrestle. Well, if everybody's a great wrestler, no one is. When I work on my wrestling stuff, I make everybody different. You can't have cruiserweights and heavyweights doing a bunch of flippy shit. Having 50-50 matches. What makes you a good wrestler is not even being a top guy. It's about having a character that is larger than life. Even if you are, I say, a mid-carder or even a jobber. Look at the Attitude Era. Not the top guys were draws, but also the mid-carders and even some jobbers back then had a good enough personality. So, and we don't have a whole lot of that these days. Now just a whole bunch of guys that just don't really have a personality, and then Triple H doesn't want to make anybody bigger than him. Y'all call Vince selfish. Triple H is actually Paul Levesque is actually more selfish than Vince McMahon, because at least Vince McMahon will allow somebody to be a bigger star than him. So, LA Knight is actually doing his job very well as far as getting himself over organically. He has his own shtick. He's got his catchphrases. Let me talk to you. And I know y'all would rather see Carmelo Hayes than Jelly Roll, and I don't blame you. You're sick of these celebrities, but hey, look. we kind of need celebrities in WWE because, you know, not that they never haven't been used in the past, but let's face it, TKO and WWE is $3 billion in debt. You know, shout out to Bobby Monsoon. But yeah. Now, you want to know what would make Carmelo Hayes dope for real? For real? You know what would make him undeniable? If he was more like what I'm doing with my Sean Baller character. You know what you do for basketball character? Give him at least one or two really good catchphrases. Like, give him some cocky stuff, not just, oh, I'm him or whatever. Because there's better stuff you can come up with than that. Just watch my Prestige Wrestling stuff, what I do with Baller, what I've been doing with him. He's a basketball type character, just like Carmelo Hayes. You know, he would make these basketball player references, these basketball players that are not even playing ball no more, just to make it funny. And I would make him say, I'm MJ, I'm Allen Iverson, I'm LeBron James, I ball scrap, I'm all that. You see how good that sounds? Like, if you hear it more than once, that can really get catchy. I ball scrap, I'm all that. Like, make him talk about himself like he's larger than life. Make him cocky. And I don't think Carmelo Hayes was doing enough of that. That would really roll off the tongue really good. Like, let him be known for saying, I ball scrap, I'm all that. Like, after talking trash or whatever, you know. So catchphrases and a larger than life character are two things that make you a draw, whether Triple H wants to accept that or not. You know, those are the two main things you need. No, you don't need to do a boho. You don't need to kick out 7 finishers and do a bunch of super kicks and moonsaults and a whole bunch of risky shit. No, that's not going to make you a draw because too many people are already doing that. If everybody's Rey Mysterio, nobody is. That's the problem. That's why I make every character different, so you can actually identify one from the other. So yeah, that's what would put Carmelo Hayes over. Even if Triple H gave him the LA Knight treatment after getting himself over by taking my advice, he would still have to be on TV, at least winning a US title or Intercontinental title, whatever, an IC title, because you can't deny him. Even if you give him a ceiling, you can't deny him. Carmelo Hayes is really getting over with his shtick. You can't deny him. You can't keep him in catering because his stuff is too good. So yeah, folks, that's my advice. Like, what makes you a draw? Because if you got catchphrases and whatnot, you can be good as a heel or a face. Just think about it. So yeah, that's the video, y'all. Like, share, subscribe if you want more of this kind of content. And peace out.